Yannick, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
If we can start by going through your participation this year, what are you bringing to the table to this air show?
So, being responsible for the commercial aviation business of Thales, we are showing equipment both on the avionics, the flight avionics side, but also on the cabin side, the in-flight entertainment system that we are now proposing to the airline. So I'm going to start with the IFE, as we announced yesterday that we've been selected by Emirates on their new 777X. So we are proposing a system that is called AventUp, which has some specificity, but the one that is really specific to us is we are using a QLED technology on the screen, which makes colors and high definition movie really looking excellent on those screens. And we are developing several sizes of screen that you can see downstairs. On the flight avionics, we are showing several things, but in terms of equipment, first, we are showing, for example, our loss inertia system. So an inertia system on board an airplane is what measures the position of the airplane on Earth. So that's what we are showing. And we are showing what we are developing with our new avionics to optimize the path of the airplane to reduce CO2 emission. There's a lot of things we are doing, and we may eventually talk further about it, but this is what we are showcasing here in this show.
That is quite a show that you're hosting.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to dive deeper into the announcements that you've made. How do these partnerships align with your strategy for growth over the upcoming years, and also your performance targets for the upcoming years?
So clearly, we've gone through 3 difficult years due to COVID, as you know. 2020 was very, very tough with almost no traffic and quite a steep reduction of the production of new airplanes. 21 was a bit different, traffic restarting. 22 was still low and hit very badly by the supply chain issue, and for us, being finally an electronic provider on board an airplane, we were particularly hit by the electronic component crisis in 22. This year, clearly, we are back to growth, like we were in the 18-19 pre-COVID year, with the growth of traffic and the growth of production of new airplanes. So there are still hiccups in the new production of airplanes because of the supply chain, and we've moved progressively from, an electronic component crisis to more a global supply chain crisis due to the bad financial health of the supply chain. But we see still that the volume, even though we are still having issues, but the volume is now growing, both on the maintenance of the airplane that are flying and on the production of the new airplane. And I am convinced that despite all the talks about the way the airline traffic emits CO2, and it's clearly a debate we are having in Europe mainly, a little bit in the United States, not that much in the rest of the world. But you are going to host here in Dubai the COP28, so you'll be talking a lot about reducing CO2 emission in the days to come here. So for us as the airplane industry, although we are completely convinced that the traffic will continue to grow, for it to continue to grow in a sustained manner, we need to decarbonize. And as Thales, we will be participating to that decarbonization in the year to come. When it comes to growth, for us, it's growing on both sides, providing new product either to the airlines on board their new airplane, like we announced for Emirates on the 777X, or upgrading the existing fleet. So we have two ways to grow on IFE, which is really basically equal between the two. We are working on upgrading airplane and putting new cabins, and that business had literally stopped for 3 years, and now it's restarting, and the growth of new airplane. And then on avionics, for us, it's mainly providing the avionics that the airplane maker needs and maintaining it. The avionics field is part of the safety system, airplane safety system of the airplane, and clearly it needs to be maintained very carefully. It's a no-go on if you have a failed flight control, failed inertia system, or failed FMS, flight management system, you don't fly the airplane. So for us, we will continue to grow in the arena of maintaining our system on board the airplane. And this is where, region by region, we are setting partnership in given region when we feel the fleet of airplane is big enough to sustain a repair center. Usually we are investing and we are considering that for the Middle East. We have already an IFE repair station in Dubai here, and we are considering setting something bigger for the region on the avionics side.
Now, you touched on the growth in the aircraft manufacturing business and also the rise in traffic and the projected surge in traffic over the upcoming years.
Yes.
What other key trends do you see shaping the Middle East in particular when it comes to the aviation landscape in the Middle East?
The Middle East has always been the region where the wide body fleet was the most dynamic. And it's been the case for the 20 past years with the growth of Emirates, with the growth of Qatar, with the growth of Etihad. So it's been a very dynamic region. Now those airplanes are getting old, and we see a wave, and it is very present here in this show. We are seeing a wave of finally replacing that fleet. So the Middle East is specific in a way where it's really the region where the wide body growth has been, and it seems will continue to be very, very dynamic, and the growth for the growth of wide body. And in the meantime as well, the local traffic is developing. When you see what is happening in Saudi Arabia, for example, where the population is growing, the wealth of the people is growing, and you have now a lot of people who are using airplane locally, and therefore we see, and this is newer, we see a trend of growing single-aisle fleet as well in the region.
And how are you capitalizing on these trends?
Clearly, the same way I was describing, having our equipment being selected for the cabin on the IFE, and you see more and more, and this is also a new trend, the single aisle being equipped with IFE. 20 years ago, you didn't have any single aisle equipped with IFE. It was the domain of the wide body. Today, with the autonomy of the single aisle growing, with the new generation of single aisle, clearly more and more, and especially in this region, where you want to the airline want to distinguish themselves with quality, with superiority. Clearly, you see more and more single aisle being fitted with that. And then the second trend is on maintaining our equipment on board, and clearly the single aisle growth will justify more investment in the region in terms of maintaining the equipment we have on board.
Now, in light of these changes happening in the market, how do you envision the future of the customer experience, of the passenger experience?
Clearly, the customers wants to have an experience that is very similar to what they have at home. They want to be connected first, which is a very important trend. And the screen of the IFE can allow that. So the IFE screen is the main equipment on board an airplane that connects a passenger to the airline and the outside world. And the quality of what people want to see on their screen needs to be at least equivalent of what they have on their TV, but also on their personal device like an iPad. And that's what we are bringing on board, connection with the external world, and bringing, quality of experience, both having, touch screen, very easy, what we call GUI, customer interface, easy to use, like you have, with your new tool that you have with you 100% of the time.
Great. Thank you so much, Yannick. Thank you.
You're very welcome.